सर्विस सेंटर्स 2.5 लाख का टीचर है, अभी तक 27 एप्लीकेशन आई है, यही मुझे बताया रविशंकर प्रसाद जी ने। अब तो खैर उनकी मिनिस्ट्री चेंज हो गई है। विकास से ही उठा के ये सारी स्किल्स आ रही हैं, जितनी स्किल्स सारी 117 करिकुलम उठा लीजिए, चाहे वो मुरब्बा मेकिंग है, फूड प्रोसेसिंग है, चाहे टेक्सचरिंग है, ये सारी वहीं से आ रही है। यानी कि हम उसको ट्रांसफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, ट्रांसलेट कर रहे हैं छोटे छोटे पैक्स में, क्योंकि आजकल बच्चों को ना पैक्स पसंद आते हैं। बड़ी किताब दे दो बच्चे को साइड पे रख देगा, उसके छोटा सा क्लिप दे दो, जैसे आज दिखाया ना अमिताभ जी ने क्लिप्स बहुत जल्दी समझ आता है बच्चों को। व्हाट्सएप के क्लिप्स बहुत देखते हैं, पूरी मूवी नहीं देखने जाते। So we are doing these models and I think we are proceeding in this area, sir. Thank you.
Give a response to one of the questions raised and probably an input to all of us, and then I'll have my question. The response to his question is that, and since it's a democratic process, we are on new policy which provide education on the basis of access, equality and quality. And as you know that education being such a subject which is handled by both state and center, there are a lot of different things, different level, and some state, for example Himachal, has got only 2 universities accredited now, as against Tamil Nadu or Karnataka, which has got Pilithara. So people have different access. Of course, equality you have touched, and then quality is something we are looking for. Now, sir, I will come to the question. We had discussions that people blamed one gentleman called Macaulay, but I feel that the downfall of our education was before that and even after that. Problem is, before that we had great schools like Takshashila and Nalanda, which were eroded. When at a time when European universities were coming up, we didn't have a school like Oxford, Naples, or likewise. They came after we demolished. I'm a bit provocative. We allowed institutions like Takshashila and Nalanda to be demolished. And after Macaulay, okay, you blame Macaulay, fine, because he was the ignition point. But what we have done after independence, it is continuously coming down. Continuously. See, when you were in school and I was in school, and today what is happening in school. I just jotted down some questions. What is the difference? For example, before education, before the class began, there used to be prayer. And prayer used to take us to concentration, meditations. Today, prayer has become just murmuring. Murmuring by those who are in the first row. The rest of the people are just lip syncing. They are not knowing what is the prayer. Only they are just moving their lips. That's it. Second was moral education. Unfortunately, we have lost that. We were having those questions, and today, let me ask you simple questions. Are our students, are our kids prepared for ups and downs? No, they lose marks in one subject and they get upset. Who should teach them that life is not smooth? They have to face up and down every day. They should be prepared for that. Are we prepared? You see, people at child level, kids have become so egoistic. I am a topper, I should not come second. Why? What happens to number 2, number 3, number 4? They are also at that level, they become not friends, not rival, but enemies. Why? We never taught them what is good to be a good friend or a good rival. So they know if you are my rival, so you are my enemy. No, it is never done. We have never taught them how to respect teachers. Jagnath will agree. I was for a very short span of my life in a country which practiced communism. Communism may have several ills and several bad things, but it had one good thing. What a child will do will be decided by teacher, not by the parent. And that decision of a teacher was on continued observation. If it is good in logical thinking, if it is good in motor skills, whether he should become a player, whether he should become a writer, whether he should become a thinker, whether he should become a mechanical engineer or an astronaut or a doctor. So, in communism they used to say system decide, but it was practically the teacher. And what happened in that society? Teacher was the most respected person. We have never taught our children to be respecting their teachers. We know they are doing their job. Our colleague Mantri said 80%. They are doing their job. They are not interested in teaching. And that's true. Other thing we used to have. Other thing we used to have in our school time, national anthem. We have lost that. And today, our children do not know should they respect India or what is being Indian. They are not knowing. If you need today, we are sitting in internet age, and they say if you need to eat food together on the dining table, please switch off the Wi-Fi switch of your house. Then only children will come on the dining table. So my question is, why is a continuous erosion of values and teaching, even after Macaulay has left or his successor have left, and we are already celebrating 70 years of independence. What we have done to arrest the situation is not enough. Thank you.
Most of your questions are remarks, and they are good remarks. Because it is a very wide spectrum of your observation, it will not be possible to give a short answer. But 2-3 things are very clear to me individually. There are a lot of schools that they have prayers, even today. There are some schools where there is a moral science. I was a student of both a Catholic Christian school as well as a Hindu school, and there were prayers, and I attended. There were moral classes, and I attended them. Why some of the schools stopped them or did not pay attention is a subject that is to be discussed in the Parent-Teacher Association, where the parents have the right to ask the questions. Your other questions also, they require a very long and very serious discussion. And I think, it would take a long time. So I think we can meet, on the lunch and we can discuss whatever we can. But if anybody on the dais want to, answer to your question, is most welcome.
I have some suggestions for the panel, especially for Dr. Khan. Having studied in IITs and IIMs and having worked around the world, I've set up approximately 1,500 startups, very few in the education space. One suggestion I have is that having seen the American best practices, there is no child who is being forced at any stage to follow a particular curriculum. Most students decide to do multitasking. For example, if you go into engineering, you may do electronic engineering and you may also do ballet dancing. You may do economics if you like to attend the class of economics. And you get the distinctions or the education system. And it's a very competitive world. I don't know whether any of you would believe that America is at least 10 times more competitive than India. In our country, as this gentleman said, we only want to come first in the class, but the first is not necessarily the most successful or a happy father or a happy individual. So one suggestion I have is in our curriculum, allow the students to pick subjects of their liking. Students do not learn from only teachers and parents, they learn from the peers. The best teacher for a student is the co-students in the class. So I think India, we are forgetting our basic roots. I agree that moral systems and prayers are, just to have a lip singing and talking about prayers, when I go to the homes of Indians living in North America or even in UK, they are far, far more knowledgeable children on Vedic systems. And when I discuss with them on Bhagavad Gita, no one in India can talk like that in Indian society who are at the same age. I've also seen Mormon culture, we talked about it. I've also seen kind of culture being followed in China and Japan, I think India is far behind only because the education system is not willing to open up. I'm sorry to say that.
Sir, SEPTEM has come up by UGC as well as AICTE choice-based credit system. Today my engineer is studying sociology also, today my engineer is studying psychology also along with the BTech. Choice-based credit system is already implemented in India because we have seen 88% of my UPSC exam in engineers, they are taking history and geography, not electronics and mechanical. Keeping this in mind, we already have started choice-based credit system in India. Thank you.
I think this session is going on very well.
Policy is open and your comments, if you would like to make it whatever way, they are open till 15th September. So it is available on the net. You can go to the web, type the list and you can contribute your suggestion.
Good afternoon to residential school. First of all, I would like to one simple question from the audience, then I will direct that question towards the panel. We all are talking about the Indian culture, Vedic, Ved, Sanskrit, Ramayana, Mahabharata, all the things. It was looking very, very good to listen all these things. One question for audience. You all are in the field of academics, maybe schooling or college or higher levels. First question, how many of you are having Sanskrit in class first, if anyone is there at the school level? Any school other than some Sanskrit schools, any school who is giving Sanskrit education in class first, or they know any such kind of school where Sanskrit is a subject in class first? Any school, maybe any school. Seventh, first I am talking about. First I am talking about class first. No. Whereas in class nursery, we start with English. The first alphabet or first letter what we teach to our kid of age 3 is English. And then we come to Hindi. And then after his 7 years of schooling, nursery to class 5th, we teach him Sanskrit. And if in case in that school French or German or Spanish, any other third language is there, I think 80% of parents, I'm not sure, but I think 80% of parents, they want to go for French, or they do a survey, which third language is now in use, in word. Okay, Spanish, okay. But you will take Spanish or German or French. Sanskrit, oh no, leave it. Hindi पढ़ लिया बहुत है. By the time in the 7 years, he learned English and Hindi. When he come to class 6, he comes to know that French is somewhere near to English. It will be quite easier to study. So let me take French, because for Sanskrit, which is near to Hindi, my parents are not ready for that. So by these 7 years, he learned a language, English or Hindi, or he get proficiency either of these two language. And then even if he takes Sanskrit, he knows that he has to carry, I am not saying studying, he has to carry this subject because it is a part of our national curriculum that you have to have third subject from class 6 to 8. He has to carry this subject for only 3 years, 6th, 7th, 8th. So he studies Sanskrit just to carry it for 3 years. I don't think that any parent is there who is sending their ward in class 6th, 7th, 8th for the Sanskrit tuitions. In case if you know somebody, he might be a great parent.
We got your question. I think he already given the answer in his question. घर में देवस्थल है, नर्सरी फर्स्ट के बच्चे को आपने शंख हाथ में दे दिया. अरे वो हमसे सर्वोत्तम भाषा है, पहले छोटी भाषाएं सीखो, फिर संस्कृत की बारी आती है. मंदिर में पहले बाहर झाड़ू लगाते हैं, सबसे बाद में जाके पूजा करते हैं अंदर. बच्चे को पहले उस लेवल तक लेके आना पड़ा. मेजॉरिटी ऑफ दैट संस्कृत को तो माथा टेकते हैं भाई. संस्कृत तो वो भाषा है, वही बच्चे तो संस्कृत तब सीखी जाती है जब बच्चे का उस लेवल का मेजॉरिटी आ जाए. तभी बुद्धि जीवन में ये किया.
Rather than a comment or a statement, can you refine it to only a small question so that the speaker can answer?
Please.
And with this, I am requesting just to have a person finish off with that. We wanted to continue it for another 30 minutes. And trust me, after the lunch, we will continue with the same panelists. And we will have another 30 minutes of open house discussion, so that at least we are taking something back to our place. It has to be ending of the discussion. I myself have certain inputs which we wanted them to inculcate, since renowned, experienced people. We will never find it again. So let me take a small break for 30 minutes. We'll resume back again and we'll do the questionnaire session. Right?
I will do that.
The open session. With us, Mr. Keshav Murari Das, Temple President of ISKCON Rohini, New Delhi, who is involved with different activities of the temple. I request the President CEE, Ms. Shruti Arora, to felicitate our honored guest. Thank you, ma'am. Michael Bush, Mr. Anil Trigunyat, and Mr. Keshav Murari to please come on the stage so that we can start with the open house discussion. Mr. Keshav Murari Das to address the elite gathering.
Hare Krishna, ladies and gentlemen. Myself is Keshav Murari, as already announced, and I'm trying to dedicate my life as a celebrate in ISKCON, just to gather more knowledge so that we can should have more time to serve this humanity. And when I invited for that program, CEE, so they are, as we all know, that they are doing a very nice job, and somehow they are trying to bring a Vedic culture, Vedic knowledge. They are trying to combine with the so-called model education, so that the things which today's modern civilization is lacking, that can be fulfilled with the Vedic knowledge also. So I'm very glad to be here today, and I was informed that the dignitaries will be all having a good educational background, learned people will be here, and they will be awarded also for the whatever they have done in their life so far. And today I have a small presentation just to make you feel that how this Vedic education is important in our life. That man, the technician, has, I think, moved here and there. His name is Prabhu. Yes. Need of a Vedic education in a modern time. As we know that we all have studied Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. It's better now. Number two, as we see, as we grow up, our parents, our family members, our relatives, they always force us to study something. If you are not studying, if you are not, तो तू सब्जी लगाएगा क्या, रेडी लगाएगा क्या, you will become a street hawker type of people. So they always compare us. They always, not we have, everyone, those who are studying in the big schools and colleges. I was trying to find out how many universities in the world. It was more than 27,000 universities. Once, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, was invited in a big university. And the man who was showing each and every department, he was telling, sir, this is the department for the economics section, this is the department for engineering section, chemical, science, etc., etc. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada said, I want to ask a small question. Do people have made a department for the science of the soul, to understand the soul? He said, sorry Swamiji, we have no this type of department, we don't have this type of department. Then Prabhupada sarcastically told him, so whatever you have made it so far, whatever education you people will provide from here, it will give only bread to the people, that's all. The food to the body only. So, Vedic knowledge, and they used to live with the guru, the teacher. And they used to learn a lot, all type of science, all type of Vedic things. And if they have studied whatever the given procedure was there, they used to become a